Leighton, I want you to talk through us from a parent's point of view before we go your work with the home and living reference group. But if you can pick up some leads from
Sure. Yeah, look, Roseanne, I just want to start by honouring your story and your brother's story, because those kind of experiences of the system just absolutely not caring are way too common, and particularly for people who have really complex support needs. I have 3 adult children. My oldest son has very high support needs with disability, and he moved out of home 13 years ago, and that's been largely successful. This all happened, of course, before the NDIS and in the WA state system at the time. Then our Department of Housing and our Disability Services Commission worked together to provide affordable housing. So he lives in social housing. It's not accessible housing, and he will be looking for somewhere with more accessibility in the near future as he's getting a little bit older, and he does have some mobility issues. But we were pretty clear that we didn't want to go down the route of a group home. He did try a group home, and he made it really clear to us that didn't work for him. And so in WA at the time, there was quite a culture across the sector where it was quite okay to use your accommodation support funding and explore what an individualised arrangement might look like. And so we were committed to the idea of him having a housemate, just a regular person, had their own job, who would provide some overnight support for him, who would provide some social support and some stability to the living arrangement. And that's basically the arrangement that he's now had for, like I say, 13 years. It's not perfect by any means. We've gone through quite a few housemates. I don't think any of them have really lived up to the standard that mum and dad want them to live up to. And it's interesting when you think about the term independent living and the NDIS wanting participants to be more independent. Paul will always be dependent on paid support or on support. He won't initiate things, so he needs prompting to do most things, and that's not going to change anytime soon. And so in order for him to have independence from mum and dad, he needs other forms of support, and most of that through the daytime and the evening is supplied by people who are similar age to him in paid support roles, and we do all that working in collaboration with a provider to make that as individualised to him and his needs as we can.
Thank you, Leighton, for sharing your story.